Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरः श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So it's very beautiful series that is going on, Krishna Katha, and I'm sure many pastimes might have already described here in the previous sessions. I always tell whenever I address congregation devotees that it's obviously very important to do Shravanam exclusively every single day. I've been guiding some of the Grasta devotees in various communities. So I hear that it's very difficult to take out time to hear. So mostly multitasking is what happens. Yes. So Prabhupada is giving class and I'm also giving my class, so two classes together. So it's difficult, no doubt, it's difficult. Yes. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, genius, intelligent, so genius. He's organized this entire satsang for us every Sunday so that we all come together and for whatever time we have, an hour or so, just be absorbed in Krishna Katha. So you cannot do anything. When you're there in the class physically sitting, you cannot do anything. If you take out phone, then speakers will ask, what are you doing? And Prabhuji already said, switch off your phone. So you cannot do anything. You cannot step out also just like that. If one person goes, everyone looks at that person. So the only thing that we can do sitting here is hear with absorption. As Prabhuji very beautifully he said, hear with absorption. So when we hear with absorption, you understand something, you don't understand something, it doesn't matter. What matters is Krishna's glories are entering our ears. This is what matters. And I feel personally very fortunate because I have to remain awake throughout the class. And I'm the one who's benefited the most because I have to speak with full conscious absorption, with proper meditation. Audience have some option, you may hear, not hear. But then when we hear Krishna Katha, it is very beautifully described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shrunata Shraddhaya Nityam Grinnatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Na Ati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Riti. This is the most inspiring shloka for me. That just by hearing, Krishna will enter our heart. What he does next? He cleanses the heart. It will be so dirty. Maybe Krishna might be entering our heart with a mask. So dirty our hearts are. And then he cleanses the heart. And he himself sits in the heart, on the lotus of the heart. And naturally, a devotee becomes extremely blissful when that happens. Therefore, finally, this is what we aim at. May that day come soon when Krishna settles in our heart. That's the most blissful day. And therefore, we all come together. That's the goal of coming together. Parasparanu kathanam pavanam bhagavat yashah mitoratir mitastushti nivrittir mita atmanah. Very beautifully, Srimad Bhagavatam says that when devotees come together, what do they discuss? They discuss about Krishna. And when they discuss about Krishna, what happens? They nourish each other. They nourish each other spiritually. And they help each other to get detached from all the various lower material attachments in this world. That's the power of Krishna Katha when we come together and do it. Yes. Therefore, I feel very fortunate that whenever we have sincere audience, it gives a lot of enthusiasm to speak with more sincerity. And that purifies the speaker more. In Sri Vrindavan Dham, to be more precise, in Brajabhumi, Krishna would always go around with Balram for doing his various pastimes. Many times, Balram would instruct, Krishna, don't go and steal butter, you'll be caught. And Krishna would ask, are you coming or no? And I know I'm not coming this time. Okay, I'm going alone. No, wait, I'm coming. So Bichara Balram, he's so sweet, innocent, straightforward. But as soon as you stay with a person who's crooked, Teda Admi, naturally you also become like that. So all the pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, I should say, most of the pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, you will say, see Krishna and Balram together. But there are some instances where Balram is not there with Krishna. One instance is the Aghasur Leela. So Balram was not present. And that entire Leela took place. Another Leela is this, where Krishna, along with the cowherd friends, he went to do his daily masti while herding the cows. And this particular day, one unfortunate incident took place. All the boys, along with the cows, they all went to a particular place in Yamuna, near Yamuna, and they drank that water. And on the spot, all of them died. Now, this is the most astonishing thing, that in Braj, these great personalities so close to Krishna, they were dead. And at that time, when Krishna saw them dying, and finally when he came and he saw dead, you know what Krishna started doing? Our acharyas say, Krishna started crying. Krishna started crying. Yesterday I was in 33 kilometers away from this place, a place called Anekal. There we were having a discourse. And not yesterday, on Friday evening. Friday evening we were having a session in Bellandur. So there, one Mataji asked a question. We were discussing about an incident where Krishna is feeling very bad for his devotee. Krishna being in anxiety for his devotee. At that time, one Mataji asked, so Guruji, Krishna is acting, right? He knows everything. He knows past, he knows present, he knows future. He might be acting, pretending. But you know what our acharyas say, especially in Damodar Leela, when Mother Yashoda is holding a stick in the hand and Krishna is crying. So that time our acharyas say that Krishna is not acting. Krishna is actually crying. He is so absorbed in that pastime. Krishna is so very absorbed in that pastime that he has no time to think. He's just reciprocating with his devotee in that particular pastime. And here we see Krishna shedding tears, looking at all the gopas and the cows dead on the ground. And it's very amazing that Krishna was glancing on all of them. And our acharyas say Krishna was doing Amrita Varsha, nectarian glance. And just by Krishna's glance, all those cows and all those gopas, they got up. बताइए, जो अपने आप को भगवान कहता है, you can go and ask that person, can you do this? Take some dead body and glance, and get this person back to life. Which person can do that? It's easy to say I'm God, but then it's not easy to behave like God. And here look at what Krishna did. He glanced and all of them, they got up. Now for all of us, it's so miraculous, it's so wonderful. But our acharyas say, isme koi badi baat nahi. There's nothing great in that. And if you ask the acharyas, why there's nothing great? So great. They were dead and they brought back to life. And at that time our acharya is saying, what is so great about this? Just by glance, Krishna creates the entire material creation. Just by glance, few living entities waking up from their slumber, what's so great about it? So in this way, Krishna's glance is a very, very powerful thing. And therefore, it is described by various great souls that always go and take darshan of the Lord. You may or may not be able to see the Lord factually, but Lord always sees you when you go to take darshan of the Lord. And therefore, when the Lord glances on us, that nectarian glance has the power to purify all of us and to nourish all of us. Therefore, darshan, who takes whose darshan is a question. But doesn't matter, just go and stand in front of the Lord, the rest Lord will take care. Therefore, many times when devotees come and say, Prabhu, aaj bahut acha darshan hua. Especially someone goes to Tirupati or some place like that. Bahut acha darshan. Pure 5 seconds khade rehne mila mujhe. Very nice. Very nice. So in that 5 seconds, what did you see? Already it's dark. The altar is dark with some lamps here and there. What did you see? What power our eyes have to see? Actually, the powerful Lord sees us and He glances on us. The way He glanced on these gopas and the cows who were dead on the ground, similarly He glances on us and brings us back actually to life and Krishna consciousness. And this is what Krishna did. Now what happened is, in the course of speaking about this, Shukadeva Goswami, he did something. Please repeat. Shri Shukavacha Vilokya Dushitam Krishnam Krishna Krishna Hina Vibhu Tasya Vishuddhim Anvichan Sarpam Tam Udavasaya. So Shukadeva Goswami, while describing this pastime, he said, Vilokya Dushitam Krishnam. He said, Vilokya Dushitam Krishnam Krishna. So Lord Krishna, he saw What did he see? He saw the waters. How was the water? Doshitam. Waters? Which waters? Krishna. So even Yamuna is called as Krishna because she is black. Krishna. So Krishna saw Krishna contaminated. Why the waters were contaminated? Krishna Ahina was there in that. What is Krishna Ahina? Ahi means snake. Krishna is black. So there was a black serpent in the water. So Krishna saw Krishna contaminated because of another Krishna. How's that? That's Shukadeva Goswami. So he saw that. And now Shukadeva Goswami says that Tasya Vishuddhim Anvichan Sarpam Tam Udavasayat. So Krishna was standing outside. He saw this contaminated river. I mean, the water contaminated by the poison of the serpent, the black serpent whose name was Kalya. And what Krishna did? Krishna chastised Kalya and asked him to leave, and Kalya left. So what Shukadeva Goswami did is he summarized the entire pastime in one verse. And Parikshit Maharaj is like, Khatam? Obviously, our devotees will be very happy. Chalo, done. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. But Parikshit Maharaj was not like that. Parikshit Maharaj, he said, Khatam? This was the mood of Parikshit Maharaj multiple times in Srimad Bhagavatam. 9th canto towards the end. Major section of 9th canto is describing the dynasty of Raghuvansh and Vrishnivansh. That is Moon dynasty and Sun dynasty. And after that, in the last few verses of 9th canto, Shukadeva Goswami summarized the entire pastime of Krishna. Entire pastimes in few verses. And Parikshit Maharaj, done. I waited all the 9 cantos just so that I can hear the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna Lila, and you summarized everything. So normally you see when the katha is going on, you cannot interrupt in between. But Parikshit Maharaj, with his transcendental audacity, he interrupted. He interrupted. Guru Maharaj, rukhiye thoda. I have understood such glorious dynasties. And then he asked a series of questions. If you open 10th canto chapter 1, first 13 verses, it just talks about questions from Parikshit Maharaj. He is asking that how did Balram appear in the womb of Rohini? Then he is asking that why Krishna was shifted from Mathura to Vrindavan. What did Krishna do in Vrindavan? What did he do in Mathura? What did he do in Dwarka? In fact, his questions were so precise that now Shukadeva Goswami will not summarize anything, but he has to describe elaborately. And guess what? Parikshit Maharaj has got only 3 days. Only 3 days with him out of 7 days. And usme Parikshit Maharaj, which Shukadeva Goswami also might be an anxiety, arey to jaldi nikalne wala, khatam karo jaldi bhagatam. But Shukadeva Goswami might be in that mood, but Parikshit Maharaj is in a different mood. He says, Guru Maharaj, vistar se bataiye. We want to hear in great detail. And that's how Shukadeva Goswami begins, 10th canto. And here in the middle, 16th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, Shukadeva Goswami suddenly summarizes a pastime. And Parikshit Maharaj is not able to hold himself. He says, Guru Maharaj, elaborate please. So Parikshit Maharaj's question was, oh, that's very nice. But how did Krishna chastise Kalya? This was the question of Parikshit Maharaj. And Shukadeva Goswami, understanding the mood of his dear disciple, Parikshit Maharaj, he goes on describing in detail. And then he says, see, in the river Jamuna, there was a black serpent and his name was Kalya. And this Kalya, he was so poisonous, so very poisonous, that the waters of Jamuna in that particular place was filled with poison. Now Shukadeva Goswami describes that in the river Jamuna, there was a lake inside. And in that Kalya was staying. Therefore, that particular place is called as Kalya Harad. So that place was contaminated. Now someone might ask, how much contaminated? More contaminated than my heart? Very, very contaminated. And the description says that all the vegetation and all the living entities around that place was all dead. Now the poisonous fumes coming out from that Kalya lake would go up in the sky. You can imagine how powerful the poison will be. It goes up in the sky, and the birds are flying up in the sky. those birds, just by coming in touch with the fumes of the poison, they would die and fall in the water. This is how poisonous the entire place was. This is how poisonous the entire place was. When I was reading this, I was thinking that this is how poisonous our hearts are also. Very poisonous. For many, many lifetimes, so much of poison is there in the heart. And only one person can purify, and that is Krishna. Krishna can enter Krishna. That is the black heart of ours. And he is the one who can purify, no doubt. But there is a condition. The condition is, Prabhupada writes in first canto, second chapter, Shloka 16 purport, last line he says this. He says the first qualification to enter the spiritual abode is eagerness to hear. Somehow, by the mercy of some devotee, if we can get eagerness to hear the way Parikshit Maharaj is eager to hear, I think our life will be successful. Because more the person is eager to hear about Krishna, more he will be attentive and absorbed, and more Krishna can do his activity of cleansing our heart. And we see here so beautifully, Shukadeva Goswami is describing. The description is beautiful, but the scene is deadly. The entire place, all the vegetation is dead. The birds flying up, they cannot fly, they are falling down, dead. And at the same time, these gopas and the cows who drank the water, they were also dead. Who got up after Krishna's nectarian glance. So seeing all this scene, Krishna decided, kuch to karna padega. He immediately went onto the tree, the Kadamba tree nearby. Now here comes the question, Balram, he didn't come that day. Why he didn't come? नहीं, हम लोग कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है बलराम आए नहीं आए. किसी ने वैसे कुछ पूछा भी नहीं कि रोज बलराम क्यों नहीं आए. Was that? Okay, he didn't want to kill a Nag. Mataji is very close. Yes. See, first and foremost, Krishna was knowing, और बलराम मेरे साथ आएंगे तो पेड़ पे चढ़ने नहीं देंगे. और Acharya was saying, utro, utro, niche, utro. His mother Yashoda would always instruct Balram, make sure, two main instructions. Make sure he does not climb the tree, and second, make sure he does not jump into the waters of Jamuna. And today, both the things he want to do. So Krishna, very tactfully, very amazingly, he kept going, "Aap ghar pe rahiye bhaiya aaj." And the second reason is, see, who is Balram? He's Ananta himself. So Krishna was thinking, today I'm going to kill a snake, subdue a snake. So the snake Shiromani is Balram. So when he sees that, he might feel bad because both are from the same jati. So let's not take him. Then this way our acharyas are giving various reasons. So Balram didn't come. Finally, Balram didn't come. And since Balram was not there, fearlessly, Krishna climbed the tree. Now here comes another question. What's the question? So Krishna was about to jump into the poisonous lake. So what's the question? How is that tree still alive? नहीं आया ना question. हमें फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. It doesn't matter. The tree है, नहीं है, बस. How is that tree present? Yes. So this is one of the reasons that our acharyas give. Our acharyas say that when Garuda, he stole nectar from the devatas, for some time he sat on this tree. So ek do drop to gira hoga na udhar. The tree is alive. There's much more deeper understanding that our acharyas are giving. Our acharyas say that this tree was already knowing that one day Krishna is going to climb me and give the touch of his lotus feet. Even when the entire place was so poisonous, still the tree was keeping itself alive so that Krishna would come and climb on the tree. And similar personality we see in Mathura. His name is Akrura. So many people left. From the Edu dynasty, so many people left because of the atrocious activities of Kamsa. But Akrura stayed back. Akrura knew, ek na ek din mujhe darshan honge Bhagwan ke. Akrura knew. And he stayed back. Even after so many atrocious activities of Kans, still he stayed back. And that day came when Kans himself invited Akrura and he said, Akrur, I want you to go to Braj. So jaise Braj suna hoga, you'll be so happy. I was waiting for this day. And what next? Go and meet Krishna Balram and get them here. So Akrura finally got the wonderful audience of Krishna and Balram. Similarly, this tree is holding its life. One day, Krishna will come. अभी ये मत पूछिए कि ये ट्री को पता कैसे चला, मुझे भी पता नहीं. But I'm sure किसी ने बताया होगा. Yes. And another very amazing thing is, our Acharyas say that Krishna knew what pastime he is going to enact. And he knew what props he wants for his pastimes. So he made sure that this prop is available for his pastime. That is the tree. So by Krishna's desire, this tree was intact, standing there, even when all the vegetation around the lake was dead. Now look what Krishna did. Krishna went up the tree, or Shukdev Goswami with his HD 4K camera is recording the video. And see the scene, how Shukdev Goswami is describing. Shukdev Goswami says, Krishna removed his cloth, Angavastra, he tied it around his waist, made it tight. And something which Shukdev Goswami has not described, or Acharyas have captured with their HD camera. And they say Krishna also tied his hair. And then Shukdev Goswami says Krishna slapped his arms. And then, with full force, smiling, Krishna jumped. Now, many times, people might say that I am God, you are God, everyone is God. There are many people who speak about it. God will do this. And when God does such activity, see what happens. Krishna jumped, he dived inside the water, and the water that splashed out was 100 dhanu water. Now our acharyas give the calculation. They say 1 dhanu is equal to 4 miles. Therefore 100 dhanu is equal to 400 miles. So water splashed 400 miles across the place. This is God, this is Krishna. In this entire pastime of Kalya Damana Leela, Krishna has proved that he is that supreme personality of Godhead. No one can compete with Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. No one can compete with his Aishwarya. Not possible. So Krishna jumped. And now it is so beautifully described, the infinite strength of our Supreme Lord. He jumped, and there what he started doing, he started swimming. अभी सोचिए कोई आपके घर पे और जोर से एक बड़ा पत्थर फेंका और broke something, and there's huge sound. Suddenly people in the house will come out, and this was the house of Kalya and his other relatives. Now, as soon as the sound was heard, all the snakes inside, they got agitated, including Kalya. Now you can imagine the scene. Just imagine that Krishna is floating here and we are there in Kalya's house. So it should be Shukdev Goswami, but Shukdev Goswami describes like that. So Shukdev Goswami is capturing the scene now from the water, from the house of Kalya. So Shukdev Goswami is seeing that Krishna is swimming. And through the eyes of Kalya, Shukdev Goswami is describing very beautifully. Shukdev Goswami, he says, Tam prekshaniya sukumara ghana vadatam Srivatsa pita vasanam Smita sundarasyam Kridantam apratibhayam Kamalodharangrim Sandasya marmasu Rusha bhujaya chachada. So now, Kalya is saying Krishna, but Shukdev Goswami is describing what Kalya is saying. What is Kalya saying? Tam prekshaniya sukumara ghanavadatam. So Kalya saw a very delicate boy is there up. And how is he looking? Ghanavadatam, like a glowing white cloud. Now there might be a question, but Krishna is black. Abhi Kalya saw what I can do for that. So Krishna gave that darshan, and Shukdev Goswami is describing Ghanavadatam. He saw beautiful Krishna. Firstly, he saw a delicate Krishna, and he saw the white, glowing white cloud. And the next is Srivatsa. See, when Krishna is swimming like this, then we can see what is there on his chest. So Kalya is seeing, and Shukdev Goswami is describing what was Krishna wearing on the chest? What was there on the chest? Srivatsa. Quiz. Which side? Left, right, center. Center. The right being left being safe. So Srivatsa is on the right side. So you can always note Srivatsa is on the right side. So he saw Srivatsa. And then Pitavasanam, he saw the beautiful yellow garment of Krishna. And various other places it is described, the yellow garment of Krishna, the dhoti of Krishna, it shines. It shines, like the beautiful lightning in the clouds. It shines like that. And then Smita Sundarasyam. Now when Krishna is swimming like this, Kaliya is able to see Krishna smile. And he's seeing beautiful smile of Krishna. शायद कालिया भी बोला होगा, such a beautiful smile. Otherwise, why will this verse come then? Smita Sundarasyam. Why the Smita Sundarasyam is coming? Kalia might have also said, beautiful. Kridantam. So what was Krishna doing? Oh, before that, Kamalo Dharangrim. So he saw the face, he saw the beautiful smile. He saw Srivatsa. He saw the Pitambara Vastra. And he saw the life and soul of all the devotees, and that is the lotus feet of Krishna. He saw that, and here it is said, Kamalo Dharangrim. He saw the lotus feet of Krishna. Surely Kaliya is also recognizing, so delicate and so beautiful like a lotus. Now what was Krishna doing? Kridantam, he was playing. He was playing in the water. Was Krishna fearful? Was Krishna fearful? After the Vada sab pata hai. Obviously it's given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Apratibhayam. There's no question of bhaya. How will the bhaya personified feel fear looking at something? Krishna is that fear personified for fear also. Death personified for death also. How can he be fearful at any point of time? And here Kaliya is saying, isko pata nahi hai. This is my house. And there's a verse which Shukadeva Goswami says, Kaliya felt very, very angry. Who has trespassed and come into my house? This is exactly how we also behave. The entire world belongs to Krishna. We capture a land and we say, this is mine. And then suddenly, and then we put the board also. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Arey bhai, you are a trespasser. Everything belongs to the Lord. And here we see he became angry. But at the same time, he's astonished. This boy is so fearless. He's smiling. And as soon as he saw Krishna in such a beautiful form, agar koi aur hota, he would have gone and hugged Krishna. He would have gone, he would have received Krishna. Please come, padhariye, please come to my place. But you know what this person did? Sandhashya marmasu. First thing that he did is he went and he bit very heavily on the place which was marma, very, very sensitive. And that is chest of Krishna. Rusha, very angrily, Bhujaya Chachada. And after that, he coiled around Krishna with a mood to kill Krishna by strangling him. One of our Acharya, he says, see, such a beautiful personality. How will he go and bite? Actually, Kaliya kissed Krishna. And later he went and embraced Krishna. Very nice. Very nice. So in this way, this is what happened. Now, one thing that I was thinking is, how this person, he got an opportunity to get darshan of Krishna. Such a beautiful darshan. Such a beautiful darshan, as described by Shukadeva Goswami. The only thing that Kaliya did was, Yena Kena Prakarena, somehow or the other, he made sure that he was in Vrindavan. That's it. Or Acharya is described, somehow or the other, make your way to Vrindavan. And it's very easy to find Krishna in Vrindavan. And Prabhupada also says that when you have energy in the body, preach intensely. Get more people into Krishna consciousness. And when you don't have energy in the body to preach, go to Dham. And Prabhupada says, therefore we have created our Krishna Balram Mandir. Go to Dham and settle there and do what? Do only one thing, chant Hare Krishna. And try yourself to be happy. Only one thing that Kali did was he was there in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is such an amazing place. And therefore Rupa Goswami, he says, one of the 5 prominent angas of bhakti is Mathuravas, staying in Vrindavan. And obviously, equivalent to Vrindavan are the other two dhams, that is Mayapur and Jagannath Puri. Therefore, for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, these three dhams are the life and soul: Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. And Kalia was there in one such place, and he got darshan of the Lord. So now, what Krishna was doing? After all, we're discussing about Supreme Personality of Godhead. What did Krishna do when Kalia coiled around Krishna, strangling him to death? And Shukadeva Goswami is describing, he says, Krishna was almost in an unconscious state, not moving, no symptom of life. अरे ये सब तो पानी के अंदर हुआ ना, चलिए पानी के बाहर देखते क्या हो रहा है. Who was there outside water? Huh? The Gopas were there, the cows were there, and it seems there were some farmers also were there nearby. As soon as they saw Krishna in this situation, in the coils of Kalia, all the Gopas, at one go, all of them fainted, unconscious. And all the cows who were standing, tears were filled in the eyes, with a lot of fear. They're not able to cry also. They're just looking at that scene. That our Prananath is there in the coils of Kalia. So this was the entire scene, inside the water and outside the water. Very, very pathetic, you see, very, very pathetic. But at the same time, here we see the intense love of Rajavasis, including the cows, for Krishna. Okay, let's go to Braj. So whenever Shukadeva Goswami describes, he describes the village as Braj and the forest as Vrindavan or Vana. Let's go to Braj. There suddenly, out of nowhere, many, many inauspicious signs were seen. Suddenly meteors were falling. Suddenly for men, the left side was quivering from top to bottom. They were finding various signs of earthquake on the ground. And immediately, unanimously, everyone in Braj, for your information, all the kids of Rajavasis were out with Krishna. All the Rajavasis kids were there. Of the Krishna's age, all the Gopas. But unanimously here, as soon as all the Brajavasis, they saw all these negative signs, inauspicious signs, all of them unanimously concluded something has happened to Krishna. And in fact, at one place it is described, one of the Rajavasis are discussing and said, maybe Krishna is dead. When I read this for the first time, the immediate thought that came to my mind was, Arey bhai, tere bhi to bacche gaye hai na? Even your kids have gone, and you're just thinking about Krishna. You're just thinking about Krishna. Each and every one there, every Rajavasi is thinking about Krishna. Something has happened to Krishna. Something has happened to Krishna. This is the love of a Rajavasi. For them, their family members does not matter. For them, only Krishna's pleasure matters. And as soon as they saw these inauspicious signs, immediately they concluded something has happened to Krishna. They all started inquiring, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And it is described, they saw Balram and it started chastising Balram. Why are you here? You're supposed to be with Krishna. Hey, Balram bichara kya bole? What will Balram speak now? And all of them, they stepped out of Vrindavan. Now they have only one mission in life, search for Krishna. Now there was only one way to search for Krishna, and that is to look at the footprints of Krishna and walk behind those footprints. Krishna's footprints are very, very special. You all know how many marks are there on Krishna's lotus feet? You're very close. Plus 1, 19. And these marks are very, very beautiful. On the left foot of the Lord, it starts with a very beautiful crescent moon. There's a fish and there's a crescent moon. And then there's a triangle, trikona. And then there are water pots, 4 water pots. And going up, there's one very beautiful sign, that is hoof print of calf. Then there's a bow. There's one circle that represents sky. And there's a conch. On the right foot of the Lord, there's ashtakon, that is octagon. And top, bottom, and on sides of octagon, there's swastik mark. And on the diagonal side, there's very beautiful jambu fruits. And little going up higher, there's a thunderbolt. There's a flag and umbrella. A little up is Ankush, elephant gourd. And little up is lotus. And on the side is chakra. And just at the below the toe, just at the toe, I should say, or the start of the toe, there's a barley corn. And there's Urdhva that is coming down. So these are the 19 symbols on the lotus feet of Krishna. And when they were looking on the ground, they were able to see these 19 symbols. Shukadeva Goswami is describing. But the question comes that ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? Because when Krishna walks, there'll be cows around or gopas around, they'll be playing. So others might step on it. And मिट जाएगा फिर तो. You know what? Very, very carefully, all the gopas and all the cows will make sure that they will never step on Krishna's lotus footprint on the ground. And Mother Earth, for her, it was a great ornament. So she'll keep it very hidden, very nicely as a treasure. She'll make sure it is as it is. So they started following that footprints. And suddenly what happened is there was grass, footprints were missing. Then they went ahead, again they found footprints. And they finally came to the place. They came to that place and they saw the scene. The first thing that they saw was all the gopas were unconscious. They saw the state of cows. In a very, very great, fearful state, they're standing, tears in the eyes, not able to cry. And finally, they saw Krishna in the coils of Kaliya. And here comes a description of three groups of people having three emotions. And the first emotion described by Shukadeva Goswami is about young gopis. The young gopis for whom Krishna was life and soul. For them, they didn't know anything apart from Krishna. As soon as they saw Krishna in this state, where they were assuming that Krishna is dead, suddenly the entire world became vacant for them. Entire world became vacant. No Lord, no life. That was the mode of these gopis. And in the same mode, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he very beautifully, he sings in Shikshastakam. What's the shloka? Yes, Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahedame. The entire world is vacant. The entire world is vacant in separation from Krishna. Abhi bataiye, all of us, we are aspiring to attain Krishna. And very nicely devotees tell also, in this very life I'll go to Goloka Vrindavan. अभी देखिए गोलोक वृंदावन जाने के लिए ब्रजवासी बनना पड़ेगा. This is the mode of a ब्रजवासी. For them, no Lord, no life. अपने कुछ फर्क पड़ता है क्या? Is there any difference in our life? Krishna is there, not there? At least when I analyze for myself, I don't feel any difference. We are okay. We are okay. Yes. Eating samosas and rasgullas and this and that, and we are happy. We are done. We are in our own world. We are in our own world. Only when we sit in a Bhagavatam class and when we read or we speak Bhagavatam, then we realize, oh, ऐसा बनना पड़ेगा. Is it easy? Is it easy? We need to have such strong attachment for Krishna that when we don't see Krishna, now the person feels, what's the use of this world? What's the use of life? This was the mode of gopis, young gopis. Now, the elderly gopas, they had a different mood. The elderly gopas, before that, Shukadeva Goswami described elderly gopis. The elderly gopis had a different mood. Because Yashoda Mai was there with them. Tell me, what will be the situation of Yashoda Mai? When the gopis would come to complain to Yashoda Mai that your Kanha, he came and he did this. And sometimes the gopis, the elderly gopis, they would say, our Kanha, he came to our house and he stole butter and did this so and so activities. And Yashoda Mai would correct, my Kanha. Look at the possessiveness of these Rajavasis. Now when Yashoda Mai is looking at this situation, think about her state of existence. She was able to do only one thing, that is faint. And all the elderly gopis, they were holding Yashoda Mai. And just to pacify Yashoda Mai, they were recollecting all the pastimes of Krishna which he has done before this pastime. They started narrating various pastimes, singing. Now the question comes, एक elderly gopi कथा दे रही थी कि multiple लोग दे रहे थे? आपको क्या लगता है? There was only one kathakar or multiple kathakar? How can one gopi speak at a stretch Because she herself was in great agony looking at that scene. So she would speak and she'll get choked, and the next gopi would continue from there. And she would get choked, and next gopi is continuing. And like this, all of them are pacifying Mother Yashoda. And they are pacifying themselves also. This was about the ladies. But the gents who were there, the Gopas, elderly Gopas, they were not in the state of crying. They were like, Chalo, isko marte hain. And they were all about to enter the waters. At that time, there was one person who stopped. Who was that? Balram इसलिए बाहर थे. Yes. नहीं तो वो भी पानी में होते with Krishna. So Balram stopped all of them. Balram is not speaking anything, but he's stopping all of them. At one point of time, there is a description which Shukadeva Goswami says, Balram was smiling. Looking at the situation of all of these people. He was smiling, looking at Krishna. Just speculating. Maybe Balram was thinking, अरे कितना ड्रामा करता है ये लड़का. एक नंबर का ड्रामा, अरे खत्म कर दे कि क्या चल रहा है आजू बाजू. Look at this. Balram smiled and then he said, अरे रुको रुको मत जाओ, wait. Looking at all the situation, Krishna, he came into action. Now Krishna, he started expanding himself. But the beautiful fact is no one else was able to see that Krishna is expanding. Only one person was able to feel that Krishna was expanding. Who was that one person? Only he was able to feel. And this pressure was so much on the coils, on his body, that Kali had to unwind himself and go away from Krishna. Because he was fearful, abhi ye chota ladka aur kya kar dega? He was very, very fearful. So Kaliya went aside. Now Kaliya is looking at Krishna. It's not that now Kaliya is in a great love and then he's going to kiss him again or something like that. Kaliya is in great anger. And he's looking at him, but he is not daring to go near him. He's looking at him. And our Acharya said, and Shukadeva Goswami describes, he was spitting fire from his eyes, he's spitting poison from his mouth. And the camera goes more closer to the mouth of Kaliya, and Shukadeva Goswami says, the tongue was coming out again and again. Snakes do that, no? The tongue goes out, comes in, goes out, comes in. Tongue is one or two? Actually one with two bifurcations. It goes out, comes in, goes out, comes in. And in this way, how many hoods Kaliya had? Huh? Shukadeva Goswami says 1,000 hoods. Okay, just put yourself in the place of Krishna. सोचिए ऐसे हम लोग उधर है पानी में और then 1,000 hoods are looking at us. Yes. शायद हम लोग पानी को और गंदा कर देंगे. You give your own purpose now. Look at this entire situation. Who says we can compete with Krishna's supremacy? Krishna is Krishna. Looking at fierce form of Kaliya, Krishna is not in fear, Krishna is smiling. Krishna is smiling. And now Kaliya is waiting, what next this boy is going to do. And this boy began his activity. Krishna started swimming and playing in the water. And he's going around the water and Kaliya is behind Krishna. Now Krishna has the speciality that he helps people who are following him to feel that very soon they will attain him. And we have a similar example in Damodar Leela. Krishna was running. Who is running behind Krishna? Yashoda is running behind. And Krishna would keep the distance between himself and mother in such a way that she will feel, abhi pakad le. But she was running for a long time. Long time she was running. Same thing with Kaliya. Kaliya was saying, abhi pakad lunga isko. I need him up. And Krishna is going around and round and round and round and round and round, went on and on and on and on. To an extent where Kaliya was tired. Was Krishna tired? Supreme Personality. Therefore, I said this entire pastime, it proves Bhagavan is Bhagavan. No one can compete with him. There's no question of Krishna's energy going down. He is the one who gives energy to everyone. How can his energy go down? The source of all energy. But Kaliya, he was so tired now. But still, he was looking at Krishna. And now, taking chance, you know what Krishna did? Krishna went close to Kaliya. He held one of the hoods of Kaliya and he jumped and he stood on the hoods of Kaliya. Bhagavan Krishna ki. And this is the famous painting and the famous deity Kalia Krishna, where on the hoods of Kalia Krishna is standing. Looks like there was good number of audience for the performance. Is everyone had come now? No, I was hearing in one of the class. I don't know how authentic this is because I have not read Acharya's commenting on this. If some Acharya's comment, it is good. So Kalia was there in that unconscious state in the coils. Sorry, Krishna was in the unconscious state in the coils of Kalia because he was waiting. Audience come here. When everyone comes, then we will begin. Yes. And especially, the young gopis are missing. The young gopis have to come. So when all of them came, Krishna climbed on the hoods of Kalia and he started dancing. So I have some background of dance before coming to Krishna consciousness. I was very much interested in various forms of dance. So this is how the floor is, for dance practice. This is how the floor is, wooden floor mostly. Tiles also you can dance. But then if someone throws water on it, you try and see if you can dance. At least in Guru Puja once it happened. Once when we sprinkle water after offering it to the Lord, some water will fall down. And our boys, they run around and dance. And while running around, because of the water, one devotee fell. So now little water and the person falls. And to add on to the complexion or complexity of this, if the entire floor, instead of being flat, if it is curved, maza aa jayega ekdam dance karne mein. See if you can have a stage like this and do a stage performance. Therefore, we say Supreme Lord is Supreme Lord. He can do what ordinary people cannot do. And here Krishna started his performance on, firstly, a place which was slippery. Second, the place which was curved. And third, the place was moving. And on that, Krishna started dancing. Now, when Krishna's dance began, suddenly all devatas, they came there in the sky. So we had audience in front, we had audience at the top also. And all the audience are completely immersed looking at this beautiful pastime. And from the top, Gandharvas, Apsaras, other sages and other devatas, they all started playing the instruments. You know the best Mridanga player? Who is best Mridanga player? No? Indra is the best Mridanga player. So we have Mridanga player, we have other devotees. I don't know if Kartal was there and other instruments were there, but many instruments were there, looks like. And they started showering flowers. Once I was there doing Abhishekam of Narasimha Dev in our Narasimha temple. So we have Nava Narasimha. So when I was doing Abhishek of one of the Nava Narasimha deity, so suddenly, my vision went at Hiranyakashipu, who was there on the lap of Narasimha Dev. And I was questioning myself, whose Abhishek I'm doing? And suddenly a realization dawned upon me that just by coming in touch with Krishna, it doesn't matter even if the demon, he becomes glorious, where he receives Abhishek. And look at this situation. Uppar se Pushpa Abhishek ho raha hai. Along with Krishna, even Kalia's Pushpa Abhishek is happening. Look at this. Somehow or the other, we have to come in touch with Krishna. It doesn't matter how demonic we are. One devotee was telling, Prabhuji, मैंने इतना पाप किया कि भगवान भी मुझे नहीं बचा सकते. Sorry. There's too much of exaggeration about your greatness of sin. Yes, there's nothing like that. But our Shastras say, holy name has the power to destroy even those sins which you will be committing in future. That's the power of holy name. Look at this wonderful scene. Krishna is dancing on the woods of Kalia and there's flowers which are showered. Instruments are played. And the entire atmosphere is so wonderful. For everyone. Except for Kalia. सब लोग तो वाह कर रहे होंगे, वाह क्या डांस, oh the step is amazing, graceful step, this move is so wonderful, oh expressions of Krishna are so wonderful. And Kalia से अरे बस कर क्या कर रहा है? Because when Krishna was jumping, same small boy, he is jumping, he is dancing on the hoods of Kalia, and Kalia is feeling there's a huge mountain that is jumping on the hoods. And there was one thing that was taking place when Krishna was dancing on the hoods of Kalia. Because of the jewels on the head of Kalia, Krishna's feet, which are very, very soft, was becoming extremely reddish. I'm not sure if the gopis were looking at that and they're like, the beautiful feet, they're getting hurt, become extremely reddish. And here, when Krishna was jumping on the woods of Kalia, dancing on the woods of Kalia, it was graceful dance, not like Tandav, Lord Shiva's Tandav. Graceful dance. And in that graceful dance, Krishna was subduing hood after hood of the snake. Our acharyas describe, and even there's a description given by Shukadeva Goswami to an extent, 1,000 hoods of Kalia and 101 was prominent. 101 big hoods and others were small hoods. Now what Krishna was doing is he was jumping on the hood of Kalia and that hood will go down and suddenly another hood would come up and Krishna would jump on it, dance on it and subdue that hood also. So Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Surrender unto me. Looks like Krishna told the same thing to Kalia, surrender unto me. But those hoods which were not surrendering, Krishna would say, I'll help you out. He was jumping and he was helping that hood to surrender. Therefore, I always say this, we have two options. Option 1 or option A, surrender unto Krishna. Option B, surrender unto Krishna. Option A, surrender unto Krishna by yourself. Option B, surrender unto Krishna by Krishna's force. Now, only thing is you have to choose. Which one will be simpler? Option A. But हम तो उस category वाले हैं नहीं. We don't belong to this category. We belong to the second category. But one thing is very clear, our Lord is extremely merciful. If we have desire to attain Krishna Prem, Krishna will make sure that he'll make us qualified and he'll award us. In the course of making us qualified, we have to go through the pain that Kalia is going through. The only thing is we should be ready for this. That's it. We should be ready for this. In this way, Krishna subdued all the 101 prominent hoods. Abhi chote chote nikalne lage upar. So Krishna jumped on those also. And finally, all the 1,000 hoods of Kalia were broken. Broken, मतलब extremely broken. To an extent, profuse blood was flowing from the mouth of Kalia. And at that time, the Shukadeva Goswami's description, at that time, Kalia realized this person is not an ordinary person. He's Supreme Personality of Godhead, not different from Narayan. This was the realization. And suddenly at that time, all the wives of Kalia, they came. They came. And see, the description is so beautiful. Now, they didn't come ekdam aise samne aur khade ho gaye. They got their छोटे-छोटे बच्चे first. उनको आगे किया. And वो लोग पीछे-पीछे. So the scene was very clear. Hey Bhagwan, हमारे छोटे-छोटे बच्चे हैं. Now please spare us. And the beautiful prayers of Nagapatni is amazing. It starts from shloka number 31 and it goes to shloka number 53 of chapter 16. Obviously, we don't have time to discuss all of them, but I would request all of you to go through it, at least the translations. Very, very beautiful. First thing the Kalia Patnis are telling is, आपने जो किया, अच्छा किया. Correct. The punishment that you have given is correct punishment. What you have done is just. It's not injustice. It's proper just. They fell flat at the feet of the Lord and they started offering prayers. And they are saying, you know what, O Lord? Actually, this punishment is mercy of yours. So someone is beating the husband and the wife goes and says, Acha kiya. This is exactly the situation. So Kalia is almost dead. And the wives are saying, actually, this is not punishment. This is mercy. And say, Krishna is asking, why mercy? Why are you saying this? This is punishment. See, he's feeling pain. And they are saying, no. It's actually mercy because you're purifying our contaminated husband who is very, very sinful. And then they're very astonished because they are great devotees. Now, how they became great devotees is a mystery. But they were all great devotees. And they are saying, we wonder, O Lord, that what did our husband do in the past life? Because they're very clear, in this life he has not done anything pious. But past life he might have done something. Did he do some austerities? Did he help someone who was in need? Did he do some nice philanthropic work? What did he do? This was the question. Because they had this important question because what Kalia received, even great Lakshmi Devi was not able to receive. And that is the Sanidhya of Lord Krishna's lotus feet, shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Lakshmi Devi wanted to associate with Lord Krishna. She came all the way from Vaikuntha. But at that time she was not allowed. She said not allowed. And therefore, even today it is described, Lakshmi Devi has been doing severe austerities in one of the 12 forests. Let me see if you know the name of the forest. Which forest? Lakshmi Devi is doing tapasya in Belvan? Kamyavan? Okay, find out yourself now. Lakshmi Devi has been doing tapasya in one of the 12 forests. Now, it's a very, very important thing to note that Lakshmi Devi has not got the association of Lord Krishna. And Kalia has got such intimate association of Lord Krishna to an extent that he got the beautiful lotus footprint on his head. Therefore, all these Nagapatnis, they are asking that even Lakshmi Devi didn't get your association like this, and you have given such an amazing association to her husband. What did he do in the past? What did he do in the past? And now finally, they're begging in the last few shlokas कि छोड़ दो हमारे पति को. Initially they started अच्छा किया और पीटो. And now finally they came to छोड़ दो हमारे पति. And they said, please repeat. अपराध सकृत भर्त्रा अपराध सकृत भर्त्रा सोधव्य स्वप्रजाकृतः शंतुम अरसि शांतात्मम् मूढ़स्य त्वामजानतः. This is a good way to rescue someone who's beaten very nicely. Therefore, I thought out of all the slokas, let me pick up this shloka. So the Kaliya Patnis are saying that oh Lord, see, Sakrad, at least once, you should forgive that person who has committed offense onto you. So Kaliya ne pehle baar kiya, so forgive him. And who is Kaliya? Moodha, foolish. Usko nahi pata kuch, chhod do. Isn't that an amazing way, an intelligent way to rescue someone? Chhod do use. And then finally they are saying, see, this serpent is our husband, he's our life and soul. Please spare him. He's about to die, please spare him. At that point of time, even Kaliya came to his senses and Kaliya started offering prayers. See, this is the power of Lord's association. Doesn't matter how demoniac we are, if you are in the association of the Lord, and especially in the age of Kali, if you are in the association of the Lord in the form of His holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Just by coming in association with Lord Krishna, even a demoniac person's heart will get transformed. And he will start offering intense prayers to the Lord. This is a very, very intense, torturing verse for a sadhaka. So where it is beautifully described, that person who chants the holy name and still there are no tears flowing from the heart, that shows that sadhaka, that person's heart is made up of stone. Are we able to relate to that? I am at least able to relate to it very much. So whenever I read the shloka or hear about it, pain, we belong to that category. Yes. But one hope that we have is, just by coming in touch with the Lord, as instructed by our Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, every single day without fail, with eagerness to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, our hearts will also get transformed. And here we have a testimony. Kaliya was in direct touch with the Lord. Krishna was dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. And when we chant the holy names, Krishna dances on the hoods of Kaliya. Yes. Our tongue is not less than a poisonous serpent. Our tongue has the power to bite someone and kill someone. Yes. Actually. So when you chant the holy names, the Lord will dance on the hoods of our hoods, I should say, the tongue. And surely he'll purify, no doubt about that. The only thing is constant touch with the Lord. And look at Kalia, he started saying, Oh Lord, see, we are serpents. And by nature, we are envious. I was thinking, when I was reading this, I was thinking, Kalia is saying, ये हमारी गलती नहीं है. किसने सृष्टि किया है आप? किसने नेचर दिया है आप? So, हमारी क्या गलती? So we are serpents, our nature is, we are envious. And see, we ourselves cannot change our nature. And this is a fact. Huh? Many times, many devotees ask this question, can we change our nature? Not possible. We cannot change our nature by our own self. Someone externally should help us to change our nature. That's what Kalia is saying, that we cannot change our nature by our own self. Only by your mercy this is possible. Only by your mercy it is possible. And then he is saying that, oh Lord, we are always under your illusory energy. फिर से भगवान पे डाल दिया देखो. We are always under your illusory energy. And only by your mercy we can be freed from your illusory energy. And this is what Krishna also says. You surrender unto me, I'll help you cross over my Maya. Mama Maya Duratyaya. He makes it very clear. And now Kalia, this is called as the ultimate thing. He surrendered unto Krishna and he said, Oh Lord, do whatever you want. You want to punish me? You punish me. You want to shower your blessings? You shower your blessings. It's up to you. Now you give us direction what has to be done. Therefore, I said we have two options. Option A, option B. And looks like Kalia chose option B. And looks like most of us are going to choose option B. But finally, the end result is going to be good. So let's be calm and peaceful. Yes. So in this way, Kalia surrendered on to Krishna. And finally, Krishna instructed Kalia, please get out of Vrindavan. That was a very big thing for a devotee. Get out of Vrindavan. Leave the waters of Jamuna, get out of this place. And our acharyas say that Kalia committed offense against the devotees. How will that person live in Vrindavan? How will he be allowed to live in Vrindavan? Many times our devotees, they hear about Vrindavan and they decide that Abhi bas jana hai, Vrindavan jana hai. We have to get some qualification to go there. नहीं तो हमें से निकाला जाएगा permanently. जाओ, नहीं आना फिर से. Can you imagine that? One of our devotee heard about Vrindavan and रातों रात backpack करके भाग गया. Yes. So it doesn't work like that. If it was just about taking ticket and going to Vrindavan, I think I would be the first one. Yes. Because it's about becoming qualified. Because there we go and do bhakti, obviously we will get immense merit. But there we go and commit offense, we will lose the greatest opportunity to practice devotional service. Therefore, Prabhupada said, okay, max you can spend 3 days, 3 nights and come back. Therefore, again and again, we should go spend 3 days, 3 nights, come back. Yes. कोई ज़्यादा शानपट्टी नहीं करना. 3 days, 3 nights, थोड़ा आगरा में आओ, फिर से जाओ. So obviously, no one will do that. But this is a very important point, that we cannot stay away from Dham, and at the same time, as of now at this level, we cannot stay in Dham continuously. Therefore, we go and charge our batteries and come back. And therefore, this time our annual yatra is going to Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. I hope many of you will be coming. And Sudhir Gopal will be there leading the yatra. Jagannath Puri, after all, Prabhuji's heart and soul. So when we go to Dham, we'll recharge ourselves and come back and help others to get recharged. And here, Kalia was told, get out of this place. But Kalia said, no, I cannot go. I have danger outside Vrindavan. What's the danger? Garuda is always waiting. Garuda is always waiting to kill me. And Krishna said, don't worry. You have put tilak now. No one can touch you. So Krishna said, my lotus feet footprint is there on your head. As soon as Garuda sees this print, he will pay obeisance to you. He will not harm you. Therefore, this mark that we put is very, very important. Very, very important. This tilak is actually a way to protect ourselves from various negativities in this world. Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, बहुत बड़ा tilak hai. अरे बड़ा छोटा कि भगवान का लोटस फीट है हरि बोल. And we put it and we chant the holy names of the Lord. And that protects us always. Therefore, devotees are always recommended put tilak. As soon as it goes off, again put tilak. It goes off, again put tilak. You take bath n number of times, put tilak n number of times. And in this way, Krishna told Kalia, don't worry, go. The Garuda will pay obeisance to you. And at that time, Kalia, along with his entire family, left Sri Vrindavan Dham and went back to their home. That is Ramanaka Dvipa, current day Fiji. And Srila Prabhupada has a beautiful temple there, ISKCON temple. There we have Kalia Krishna, representing this beautiful pastime. Yes. So when we hear this pastime, one falashruti that Krishna is giving is, anyone who hears this pastime, Krishna is telling this to Kalia, anyone who hears this pastime, that person will always be fearless. He'll never fear personalities like you, O Kalia. So this is the benediction that is given to us. Another very important thing is, anyone who hears such pastimes will get inspiration to practice bhakti more intensely, to cleanse our heart, and someday attain the eternal abode that is Sri Vrindavan Dham. And surely, when we are taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, we'll be able to attain that eternal abode. And shelter of Srila Prabhupada means following his instructions. Following his instructions very strictly. And one of the points which I covered in today's class was constant touch of the Lord in the age of Kali is constant touch with the holy names of the Lord. If this much we can do every single day, coming in touch with Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes, we will get purified, will become qualified to settle in Sri Vrindavan or Mayapur or Jagannath Puri. And I must tell this, devotee should aspire to leave their body in Dham. And when we leave our body in Dham, yes, the destination is very glorious. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions?